How's it going, meatheads? I am back with you with another video to pump up your day with some motorcycle content. Another biker. Brother. Oh, a VMAX. Don't see a lot of those. That's pretty cool. How can you tell that it is a Friday afternoon here in Sioux Falls on Kiwanis Avenue? I don't know. You're over in the other lane. I want to go. Sneak my way right through there. Close up that. Well, how's everybody doing? We are headed out, leaving work right now, and gonna head on home for the weekend. And not really sure what I'm going to talk about necessarily, or honestly, I don't even know which way I want to go back home. Kind of torn whether or not I want to like cut across town for a little bit, and I think that's probably what I'm going to do. Cut across town for a little ways and make my way north and east, just because I haven't really been through Sioux Falls in a little while. I take usually the fast way to get home or get to work. So, and as good as it is, or as like fast it is as it is to get home that other way, sometimes you just need to take a different route to break up the monotony of everything, right? I gotta yield. Anybody in this lane? Nope. Snap, crackle, pop, Rice Krispies. Ah, there we go. Well, thought this was a cop car there for a little while, because, or a cop Silverado with the black and white lettering on it, but that is a copper. Minnehaha County Sheriff. Brother, I appreciate all of you blowing up my video on why I think adventure bikes aren't selling nearly as much as they do here. Or I am glad that y'all enjoyed my video on me talking about the reasons why I think adventure bikes don't sell as well here in the United States as they do over in like European countries. It was really nice to see that engagement. It also was really nice to I guess kind of solidify my belief that my audio was partially to blame for like actual engagement. Like I feel like it's been a long struggle with that whole microphone audio thing going on, where I'm just sick of dealing with, like, you know, like when I went and did the Chief Joseph Byway and the Bighorns, and then one little last ride out in the Black Hills, when the audio clipped out so easily from just being overloaded, it's like, it wasn't even really like overloaded necessarily. Like my Road Glide was not that loud. It was loud, but it wasn't like that loud. So seeing, or like in post, you know, getting the audio out and finding out that like it all clipped out on anything that dealt with like the wind, like I'm dealing with right now. Crosswind or full frontal wind behind you, like it would just cause the microphone to clip out and pop and all that. Like that just really was a real downer for that whole video, because it just felt like the audio was not really salvageable. Well, there wasn't really much I could do with it. It just was overloaded or I think overloaded is the way to describe it. And even like reducing the decibels or like any sort of knowledge that I have as far as modifying the audio track wouldn't have worked to fix that problem. So yeah, unfortunately, like I feel bad because like I probably have been hindering my own channel's growth just by not really dedicating the time and effort to truly figuring out this microphone issue. And it was just nice to see that the first video that I made with a brand new microphone that was the same style, the same manufacturer of the microphone that I had used for years actually turned out really well. The audio was nice and crisp. I had to do some relocating of the actual microphone here in my helmet, so that way I get a little bit better wind protection, because there was a couple points in the video where it felt like I was like trying to really talk over the wind noise, and I hope I maybe have changed that out a little bit, moved into a better spot where it's a bit more protected. But it is kind of hard because I don't have the full fairing like I did on the Road Glide to block a lot of wind. I just have this wind screen, which I've adjusted it all the way up, so that way it does a little bit more protecting of the microphone now in my helmet from the wind. But we'll see. See what it does, or see how it all turns out in the end. And stop. Prius and another Prius. Don't do it. They're turning. Oh, never mind. Little quick flick of the wrist. We get this front wheel up without any problems, man. I like this. Yeah, I've said it briefly, but I should have been on an adventure touring bike a long time ago. I loved the Road Glide for the time that I had it. Well, that was the very brother of him. I should, like, I built this channel on the Road Glide. Like, I know full well that, like, a lot of my content is the Road Glide, and it's still going to be a primary source of what brings people to the channel. However, hindsight is always 20/20, and I will be honest, I always had that desire for a high performing bike, hence what I was working and doing with my bike, my Road Glide. Like, it was constantly almost constantly trying to find new parts and new accessories, and swapping the cam, swapping exhaust, intakes and stuff like that, and changing out the suspension. I was building a performance bagger on a budget, but realistically, like, having, you know, been on this bike now for some time, I realized that now this was realistically the bike that I always wanted, because like this S model of the Super Adventure is more inclined and set up to what I do anyway. You know, it's got really tall suspension for good lean angle and all that, but it's also you know, set up with mag wheels and street tires, because a majority of my riding is here on the street. And although I do like have a hope and a desire to, you know, go off-roading a little bit, like maybe on some more gravel roads and stuff like that, I wouldn't necessarily say that like I'm going to fully dedicate my life to doing that. If I was going to do that, I would have gotten a smaller bike, because the KTM 1290 is a heavyweight adventure touring bike compared to like the 890s or the 900 F900 GS from BMW and such. Like, they would be a little bit better suited to do like straight up off-roading with a little bit of touring. And that's kind of like what my feeling is about the adventure bike segment, is that the 1290, the Triumph Tiger 1200s, the Multistrada V4 and V2, you know, your 1200cc plus adventure bikes, your adventure tourings, are 100% more set up and designed around the idea of it's a touring bike with the capability and it's a capability slash like ability to just go off-road. You know, I want to go get off the beaten path a little bit. I want to go on some gravel road. I want to go maybe hit some beaten down 2-track, or maybe some like mild single track. Yeah, this bike can do it with the good set of tires, good set of knobbies and spoke wheels, and an ample amount of skill. That's what you can do with it. But what I think that this bike was more focused on doing was oh shit. Excuse me, but oh no, it's Corvette. Oh, I thought it was a Viper. Never mind. Hope's dashed. I thought that was like a Viper ACR, and I was like, oh my lord. But it was just a Corvette. Yeah, like these heavyweight adventure tourers are much more designed to be like, oh, I want to go on a long distance ride, a long distance trip, and I don't know what I might come across. I might be on mostly tar roads, concrete, pavement, but I might find myself going on some gravel road here and there to avoid some road construction, or fuck, the road construction itself can be pretty gnarly. And having a bike with ample amount of suspension travel and handling and power and a fuel efficiency, definitely was the aim and design behind these heavyweight adventure bikes. It's touring with a little bit of off-roading, you know. And I think that the middleweight segment of that, of the adventure bikes, you know, your 890 Adventure, 790 Adventure, I think even they do a 990 now, maybe not, I don't know if they do a 990 now. But, you know, your F900 GS, your 800 Tiger, they are all like, oh, I am I'm a little bit more of like, I'm capable of doing either. And I think with that one, probably that segment has a bit more compromise to it, because you either focus a lot on the ability to off-road really, really well, or you're more focused on a middleweight touring bike than necessarily a dirt bike, you know, or a large dirt bike per se. And then the lightweights, you know, you do whatever the hell you want with it. I think they're far more set up or designed and catered toward off-roading, you know, like you're gonna tour on it, but you're not going to be as comfortable doing interstate highway speeds on that bike as you will be the slow speed technical off-roading, you know. And for me, I enjoy the fact that this bike has great capability as far as the handling factor goes, the power factor, the fuel efficiency, all that is really what I want in a touring bike. And this bike's got it in droves. I absolutely adore the fact that this bike, I feel like I can go anywhere, I can accomplish anything, I can conquer anything, while also being extremely comfortable and having ample amounts of power everywhere. It's what I wanted in a touring bike, and I absolutely feel that this bike has exceeded those standards, as well as having, you know, a great electronic suite with the cruise control, heated grips, electronic adjustable suspension, ride modes, power modes, you know, even the preload adjustment. I don't have to do any sort of math or like remember where I had my settings at when I was riding without luggage versus when I was riding with luggage, or riding with luggage and a passenger, you know, or riding with just a passenger. All of that, like, unknown of like, well, I had it here, this felt like this was the right setting for that, I'm going to adjust it back to here so it's a good setting for this, you know, so on and so forth. All that being taken away, being able to just hop on this bike, crank it over, and just go get lost is honestly really what I wanted in a touring bike. So I really do regret having bought the Road Glide in some fashion, because of the fact that this bike is realistically what I wanted all along. I told myself that I wanted another Harley, that I wanted to make another really custom bike that was my personality and all that, all wrapped up wrapped up in being a performer and all that. And realistically, I just don't have that deep a pocket to do that, you know. I don't have the $20,000 to $30,000 sitting around waiting to be blown on a base Road Glide to transform it into a absolutely amazing beast of a bike. I have the cash to put down on a bike that I know performs well, is reliable, is absolutely outstanding in almost every aspect, and I know it'll crank over and take me wherever I want to take it, you know. And I mean, I've definitely heard that from people, like, this bike's not as good looking as the Road Glide was, and it's not as cool as the Road Glide, and doesn't sound as good. And it's like, those are all I'd say valid reasons, but it doesn't, those really don't outweigh the absolutely sheer number of positives that this bike does have that shadow are like completely hide the positives that the road glide have. My goodness, the wind is ridiculous. Maybe I'm just naive still and have blinders on about this bike, and I'm a broken chain or a blown or worn out cam away from hating this bike altogether, but I don't know. So far, so good. And I will continue to talk the praises about this bike because it's just so damn fun to do this. This is a sport bike with bags and tall suspension, in my opinion. What do I know? Well, I guess I think that this bike is just everything I ever wanted it to be, and I'm very happy with my purchase. Well, everybody, ladies and gents, I'm gonna roll on out or clock out on this video. Hope you all enjoyed me just ranting and rambling as I was coming home from work on a Friday after 4th of July. I am tired. I did not get a lot of sleep last night because of the fireworks, and the twins were not having it with the fireworks, and neither was the dog. So I'm a little drowsy, a little off-put from the whole evening last night, but I hope that my low energy ranting and rambling wasn't too boring or unenthusiastic for y'all. I will be continuing to do what I do best and make some content when I can and where I can and chat your ear off, I guess. So until next time, guys, I will be doing what I do. See ya.